Daphne Barak is a world-renowned interviewer. She was the woman who brought down the former Prince Andrew when she first released emails exchanged between Andrew and Jeffrey Epstein in 2011. And she even proved that Andrew was lying when he claimed he'd cut off contact with the then financier. And I'm very pleased to say that Daphne Barak joins me now. Daphne, really appreciate your time. Look, these new revelations lay bare the extent of contact Andrew had with the late pedophile Jeffrey Epstein, including inviting him for an intimate dinner at Buckingham Palace, plus those vile photos of Andrew on all fours on top of a female. And as I mentioned, you were the journalist who first exposed those emails between Epstein and Andrew. Give us your opinion on these latest revelations.
So, Danica, for me, it's not new. My sources in DC told me ahead. And when I exposed, first of all, Sarah Ferguson emails that she lied to the public, that she cut any connection with Epstein, and then apologized to him that she needed to lie to the public to maintain her brand with children books and children charities. I mean, saying it to a pedophile, it was just astonishing. So when I exposed that, and then I exposed a few weeks later the email that the former prince lied to the public, to Newsnight, at the Buckingham Palace, of all places, that he cut any contacts with Jeffrey Epstein after the visit in New York 2010. I am very close to the royal family. I got personal calls. How many emails are more coming? And I also said it on television when I made several appearances. I said there is very, very big traffic between Andrew, Sarah, and Epstein, and there are more than 100 emails. So there's no surprise for me, and there's no surprise for King Charles and Prince William. The palace official called one of my editors, and the editor said Daphne has a lot. So there was no surprise. And some of the emails actually, I mean, we didn't know about the four-legged photos, and what an optic. Poor Eugenie and Beatrice, my gosh. But we did know about, that's the email we were actually originally looking for. And I said to Sarah, we know that you appear in the email and you wrote some, and we really need to talk to you about it. And she didn't want to come forward. If we were texting each other, but she was denying it. We knew about the email, Jeffrey, please marry me. That's the email we were looking for. The moment we saw the email that she said, yes, I lied to the public, and of course you're not a pedophile, and I love you, and you are my supreme friend, we went with this one. But there was no surprises. There was no surprise for me. And I can tell you already, the palace had known that there are very, very bad emails. When after I exposed Andrew's lies, they stripped him from his Duke title, and they knew how much damage is coming, and then they stripped him also from the prince title and evicted him from Royal Lodge. So no surprises for me. But I am as devastated and shocked as you and everybody else that they would do it with a pedophile, and more important, lie to the public. She lied to the Evening Standard, and he lied to BBC. I mean, it was very public lie.
How likely is it that we will see the day where Andrew does indeed appear at US Congress to give his version of events? Because he's really holding off right now. How do you see this playing out?
I don't know legally, Danica, if he's a UK citizen. He's not a royal anymore, but I don't know if we can force him to testify. I know that right now, behind the scenes, there's a big fight. Congress wants Ghislaine Maxwell to testify. She naturally doesn't want that. She still, although she lost all appeals, she still has a last appeal pending. It's called habeas corpus. So legally, they cannot force her because it's what you call the Fifth Amendment. You cannot incriminate yourself. But there is going to be a Zoom next week at the jail in Bryant, and then she will have to say, I know her attorneys would be there, she will have to say, I'm taking the fifth, I'm taking the fifth, I'm taking the fifth. But they can force it on Ghislaine Maxwell because she is an American citizen and she is in America right now. I don't know how it works with citizens of other countries legally. Morally, since Bill and Hillary Clinton even agreed to testify, I think it's very, very bad for him not to testify. But don't forget, Danica, when you testify in Congress, it's like talking to the FBI. It's under oath and you can perjure yourself. So it's a tricky thing. And whether Andrew, after what we have seen, with my email that I exposed, we will play soon more, and we are in this together, and the four-legged photos and the other photos that he's lying on four ladies, and Ghislaine is looking from the back like a madam. After all that we have seen, I am not sure that Andrew really bothers about optics, and I am not going to think that his moral compass is a priority for him. So you want me to bet? I'm betting you would never see him in Congress.
You mentioned there Bill and Hillary Clinton. They have now agreed to testify before Congress. Why the stunning change of heart, do you think?
I mean, public pressure. I mean, I actually, as much as I'm a friend of Donald Trump and his family, I used to be a Democrat. I used to be a very good friend of Hillary and Bill. I hosted Hillary at home for my husband's birthday. I did a fundraiser for her. I even introduced her to my doctor. So we were close until, of course, I supported Donald Trump in 2016. And naturally, I've not talked to her ever since. It's natural. Why? Although Hillary doesn't intend to run to any office, and that boat has sailed. And I saw Bill Clinton in September in New York, and he was very nice to me, but he's definitely not in the best health ever. I think there are two elements. The legacy. Hillary was a very accomplished woman. Nobody would take that from her. And Bill was a wonderful president. I mean, we had a great economy during his time, and we had also some juicy stuff, but he was a great president. Even a Republican would say that. So I think the legacy is a big deal. I don't think they want the legacy to be more associated with why didn't they testify about Epstein than his accomplishments and her accomplishment, and as a first woman candidate for president, as Secretary of State, and all that. So that's one thing. Secondly, practically, there is what you call the Clinton Foundation. Every September, when everybody's coming for the UN Assembly, including your Prime Minister, head of states are going to the Clinton Foundation. Donors give a lot of money, and they're doing, I guess, some good things. I've been in one of them. The amount that were given, it was just before Hillary announced that she was running against Donald. It was 2015. I didn't believe the amount they were throwing in the room for auction. I mean, it went to $500,000. Some people went for $250,000 just to fly with him in a private jet. Not Jeffrey Epstein at the time, but who knows actually. So practically, if they are suddenly associated as friends of Epstein who refuse to testify in front of the American people, the Congress is the American people, I would assume that whatever happened after I exposed Sarah Ferguson's involvement with Epstein, and that she did not cut ties with him, 7 charities left her. And 2 days ago, her own foundation, the Sarah Trust, ceased to exist. It definitely can hurt the Clinton Foundation. So I think for these 2 reasons, they're doing the right decision.
Just back to Andrew, what about his and Sarah Ferguson's daughters, Eugenie and Beatrice? I mean, this for them must be absolutely humiliating.
I mean, my heart is going to Andrew and Sarah's daughters. First of all, my heart is going to the victims. I have to tell you, Danica, as much as I'm a friend of the royals, and I did do the only interview with Ghislaine Maxwell in jail, Virginia Giuffre, the late Virginia Giuffre, trusted me. She met me. We had text messages. As she died, I did a beautiful piece that everybody, thanked me about our text message. I knew she was a victim, even they were trying to throw dirt at her. And as much as they said I brought Prince Andrew down with Sarah, first of all, I did not, because they brought themselves. I just down with their own terrible judgment. I just exposed the truth. But I think Virginia's book came right after me exposing both of them, and I think it helped with the public demanding to bring them down. So basically, my heart is going to the victims, first of all. But I think with Andrew and Sarah, my heart is going to their daughters, because, they are associated with a very, very, very dirty brand right now. And, on one hand, it's their parents, and they had very, very privileged life. And I know Sarah and Andrew loved them. I don't know Andrew well, but I definitely know Sarah well, and she was a great mom, especially apparently not as great when it came to her judgment. I mean, and her greediness overruled her parenting. Now we know, but that's what I'm really thinking about these girls, because Andrew always wanted them to be part of the royal family, working royals. You can forget about that, and you can forget, I think, as much as it's not their fault. I don't see King Charles, whom I know, and Prince William letting them become more involved in the royal family, because despite the fact that they did not do anything wrong, the name, the brand, it's a problem. And it's probably a terrible problem for Eugenie and Beatrice to see their father on four legs or over a woman. It's like, what a terrible optic.
The late Queen Elizabeth II has been dragged into this. Do you really think that she had no idea about the allegations or was protecting her son? Could the royal family be complicit in this?
Well, I actually have texts from Sarah when I went to the jail to see Ghislaine first time. I had 4 interviews with her. And she was actually saying, Andrew and I are right now with the Queen. And basically, when are you doing this interview? Because she really wanted Ghislaine to tell her truth, but not many believe that Andrew had never met Virginia and the photo is faked and all that, which, of course, I think right now from the emails between Andrew and Epstein, it doesn't look that it was fake, and it looked like really real. So whether the Queen knew that there are allegations, and they are really, of course, and she's the one reportedly that put up the money to pay Virginia Giuffre when she did the settlement with Andrew. We're talking about millions and millions of pounds. So did she know? Yes. Did she believe it? Well, we all know, Danica, that he was her favorite son. I mean, at the time, he was a war hero, very handsome. Then all the stuff started to come even before Epstein. You know, that he was spending the public money and was very rude and very entitled. But before that, he was a hero. And he was still her beloved son. And I know from Sarah that we were talking very often and texting very often, that they were actually visiting her every day. They bought her the corgis. It was a very close relationship. And of course, they were neighbors. So did she believe it? As a doting mother, I am sure she refused to believe it. And one more point, Danica. The world has changed so much. I'm doing right now a big scoop, which will be shocking as Andrew. And these people are breaking the silence because the world has changed. The world has changed, whether it's Me Too. I mean, what's his name? Harvey Weinstein would not be in jail 10 years ago, right? The world has changed about Virginia Giuffre. When she came in 2011, nobody wanted to believe her. They tried to trash her. Look what happened, right? So I think right now, we have to remember the Queen was old. I mean, she was a hero during Second World War when she refused to leave London. She was a true hero. But we're talking about eras that you didn't have email, you didn't even fax, you didn't have mobile. For an old woman like her who was very smart and probably and beloved, I don't think she could comprehend that the world has changed. And I think that was part of the problem. So did she know about it? She definitely knew that things are coming. That's according to Sarah and according to others saying. Did she believe it? She did not want to believe it. And she was a mother.
Before we let you go, could this scandal bring down the royal family?
I know King Charles. I've been supporting his Prince Trust. I know Camilla way before she was a queen, her sister Annabelle, and I've been friends. I know the family is amazing. I met her father, her late brother, her late father. I mean, great, great family, very warm. So actually, some of the antiques behind me belong to the shop of Annabelle Elliott, her younger sister. So we spend time. They're wonderful people. And Prince William and Catherine are the future. So is it the end of the royal family? I hope not, because it's good for tourists and it's good for many other things in England. But I think the public is really fed up about expenses, over expenses, public money. And as we know, when William and Kate visit the Caribbeans, some of the countries are really unhappy with all. They don't want to be part of the Commonwealth. They don't want to pay money to be part of the Commonwealth, and they just want to become a republic. And in your country, as we know, Danica, there is a growing call to become a republic. They say, why do we need this royal family? So whether it's the end, I hope for the sake of King Charles, who is fighting cancer so bravely, and I'm a cancer survivor. I just beat cancer a few months ago. I do hope not during his time, and I do hope that Prince William and Catherine will have a chance. But they have many challenges. This is not only the Andrew and Sarah. This is very, very damaging.
Daphne Barak, really appreciate your insights. Great to have you on the show. Thank you so much for joining me.